The last thing I expected was to hit my breaking point over dishes, but that's exactly what happened. It was the third Sunday of the month, and like always, my house was packed. My two sons, their wives, the grandkids, my younger brother, his daughter, and my sister-in-law. 11 people, not counting me. I'd been up since 7 a.m., roasted 2 chickens, made mashed potatoes from scratch, baked cornbread, and even put together that red velvet cake they all love. I'd set the table, cleaned the guest bathroom, laid out extra chairs in the living room, and had juice, soda, and wine cold in the fridge. They came in like they always do, hugs, kisses. "This smells amazing, Mom. And you always go all out." That part always felt nice. But after the food was eaten and the grandkids had run off to play in the backyard, I noticed it happening again. Everyone disappeared. Some went to the couch to watch TV. The kids started a game of tag near the rose bushes. My daughter-in-law scrolled on her phone. The men turned up the volume to catch the game. And there I stood, by the sink, staring at a mountain of dirty dishes. Big roasting pans, gravy-stained plates, forks and knives everywhere, cups with lipstick stains, napkins shoved under empty bowls. I reached for a sponge, then stopped. My back already ached. I hadn't even sat down to enjoy my own meal properly. They all ate, laughed, left their plates, and that was that. "Hey," I called out from the kitchen. No one turned. "Hey," I said, louder this time. My younger son, Mark, popped his head in. "Yeah, Mom?" "I'm not cleaning this up," I said, firm and loud. "I'm done. I've been doing this every time for years. I'm tired." Mark blinked like he didn't understand. "Oh, okay. I mean, we'll get to it in a bit." I looked him straight in the eye.
No.
"Not in a bit. I mean, I'm not doing it anymore. Not this time. Not next time." Behind him, I heard someone laugh. It was my brother, Bill. "You always say that, Grace," he chuckled. "You love doing it. You'd go nuts if someone else touched your kitchen." My daughter-in-law, Shannon, joined in. "Besides, you're the only one who knows how to load that dishwasher of yours. It's like a puzzle." I felt my face go hot. Not from embarrassment, from frustration. "I don't love it," I said. "I've just been doing it because nobody else ever helps." They all went quiet for a second. Then Bill smirked. All right. Don't get dramatic." "Yeah, Mom, it's not that big a deal," Mark added. "We'll do it later. You're just tired." I stared at the dishes. Then at them. Not one of them was getting up. Then I did something I've never done before. I walked back to the dining table, picked up the last slice of cake, the one everyone had been eyeing and pretending not to want, and said, "I'm taking this. I made it. I'm eating it." I left the dirty plates where they were, walked down the hallway to my room, closed the door, and ate that cake in bed. I didn't even feel guilty. Not that night. But what shocked me wasn't what I did. It was what happened after. The next day, not one person called to ask how I was. Not one asked if I needed help. When I checked my phone, the only message in the family group chat was from Shannon. "Thanks for dinner, Grace. Hope you got some rest after your little moment." My little moment? I stared at the message for a while. Then I muted the chat. For the next 2 weeks, I didn't say anything. I didn't go on my usual grocery run. I didn't plan the next dinner. I didn't send reminders or ask about birthdays. And guess what? Nobody followed up. Not once. 2 weeks went by. I didn't host dinner. I didn't text anyone. I didn't call to check in. I didn't offer to babysit the grandkids. I just stayed still. At first, I expected anyone to reach out. Maybe an apology or even a simple, "We should have helped you clean." But silence. The kind of silence that makes you realize just how much effort you've been putting in to keep everything running smoothly. Then came Sunday. Normally, they would have started texting around noon. "What time should we come? Should I bring soda? Are we eating inside or on the patio?" Nothing. I waited all day. Around 6 p.m., I heated up a frozen lasagna for myself and watched an old episode of Murder, She Wrote. It was quiet, peaceful, but a little sad, too. The next day, Mark finally called. "Hey, Mom." I didn't jump to say, "Hi, sweetheart," like I usually would. Hi. You good? I'm fine. A pause. Shannon said you seemed a little upset last time. I told you I was done cleaning up. No one took me seriously. Mark chuckled. Come on, Mom. You've said stuff like that before. I meant it this time. Another pause. So, what, no more Sunday dinners? I raised my voice just a notch. You all come in, eat, leave your mess, and go. You don't ask if I need help. You don't even rinse your plates. You leave me standing in a kitchen that looks like a war zone while you sit and watch football. Mark sighed. Mom, we didn't mean to upset you. I thought you liked doing it. That's the problem, I said. You all assumed I liked it. You never asked. You just expected it. He stayed quiet for a beat. Okay, fair. I guess we've been lazy. It's not just lazy. It's disrespectful. He exhaled loudly. All right. Next time we come, we'll help clean up. No big deal. There won't be a next time. What do you mean? I'm not doing it anymore. The planning, the shopping, the cooking, the cleaning. I'm done. Mom, don't be like this. The kids love coming over. Then maybe their dad should host. He gave a short, dry laugh. At our place? Shannon can barely microwave rice. Well, maybe she'll learn. He groaned. This is overreacting.
No, Mark.
This is me finally reacting. He was quiet again.
All right.
Talk to you later, I guess. Good night. I hung up. Later that evening, I heard the front door open. My brother Bill had a key. He stepped into the kitchen like he owned the place. Grace, he called out. I stepped out of the den. What are you doing here? Thought I'd check in on my dramatic big sister. Don't call me that. He raised his hands in mock surrender. Okay. Just wanted to see if you've come back to your senses. I'm not crazy, Bill. Never said you were. Just think maybe you're blowing this out of proportion. I folded my arms. Did you come all the way here to tell me that?
No, he said.
I came to ask if you're still hosting Mother's Day dinner. I stared at him. You're joking. It's tradition, he shrugged. You've done it every year since Dad died. So, I have to do it until I die? Bill rolled his eyes. You're making this into some kind of feminist protest. No, I'm making this into a boundary. You know what that is? I know what a guilt trip sounds like. Then maybe you're finally hearing me. He walked over to the fridge and opened it without asking, like he always did. You got any of that sweet tea left? I didn't say anything. Suit yourself, he said, grabbing a bottle of water instead. Before he left, he turned and said, You're gonna isolate yourself, Grace. People stop coming. Let them. He looked at me surprised, maybe even a little hurt.
Wow.
That's cold.
No, Bill.
It's clarity. He walked out without another word. That night, I sat in my room, holding a cup of tea and thinking. For years, I had told myself I was the glue that held the family together. The reliable one. The helper. The host. I had believed that role gave me worth. But now I saw it clearly. They didn't appreciate me. They used me. And when I finally said no, they acted like I was the problem. The next morning, I muted the family group chat again. There was a message from Shannon. Just checking in to see if Grace has stopped sulking. I didn't reply. 2 more Sundays went by. No one hosted dinner. No one said anything about it either. I half expected Mark or Shannon to take the lead, but instead, there was silence. I didn't reach out, and they didn't either. Then, one afternoon, I ran into Amanda, my niece Bill's daughter, at the grocery store. She spotted me near the produce section. Aunt Grace, she said, waving. You've been hiding. I smiled politely. Not hiding. Just staying home. She leaned in like she was sharing gossip. You shook the table, you know. I raised an eyebrow. How so? They're all scrambling. Last Sunday, we had dinner at Uncle Mark's. Shannon served Costco chicken and boxed mac and cheese. I let out a short breath. They finally hosted, huh? Yeah. But everyone complained the whole time. Mark kept saying, Mom's being ridiculous. Dad just shrugged and said, She'll come around.
She paused.
But I don't think you are you? No, I said, picking up a bag of onions. I'm not. Amanda smiled. Good for you. That evening, I pulled out an old notebook. I started writing down everything I'd done over the years. Planned and cooked over 400 Sunday dinners. Hosted 17 holiday meals. Babysat the grandkids more times than I could count. Helped Shannon during both of her pregnancies, meals, cleaning, laundry. Drove Bill to his colonoscopy when no one else offered. Picked up birthday cakes. Sent out reminders. Wrapped presents for them. And every time, when I needed help, crickets. No one offered to help when I was recovering from knee surgery last year. I cooked for myself, limping around the kitchen. No one sent me soup. No one asked if I needed groceries. I remembered sitting on the couch that week, watching a show with my leg propped up, and hearing the doorbell ring. It was Mark dropping off the kids. He didn't even come in, just waved and drove off. That should have been my first wake-up call. A few days later, I got a call from my sister-in-law, Diane, Bill's wife. Hey, Grace, she started. So, I'm organizing a potluck for Memorial Day. Would love to see you there. What can I bring? I asked calmly. Oh, anything. You always do a mean potato salad. Not this time, I said. I'll bring napkins. She laughed. Oh, come on. Just make a small tray.
No.
I'm coming as a guest. A pause. Well, all right then. Napkins it is. I hung up and felt oddly powerful. Memorial Day came. I arrived at Diane's with 2 packs of heavy-duty napkins and a store-bought bottle of sweet tea. Everyone else brought foil-covered trays of half-baked attempts. Shannon brought a watery pasta salad. Bill grilled burgers, but forgot buns. When the food ran out early, I heard someone mutter, "This wouldn't happen if Grace was in charge." I sat on a lawn chair in the shade, sipping my tea. I didn't move to help. Didn't ask if the grill needed refilling. Didn't offer to organize the dessert table. Just watched. The tension was clear. I saw Mark whispering something to Shannon while looking my way. She rolled her eyes. Bill looked annoyed when his potato wedges turned soggy. My niece Amanda winked at me like she knew what was going on. Around dessert time, my mom shuffled over and sat beside me. She rarely came to these things anymore. At 83, she preferred to stay home unless it was Thanksgiving. I hear you've gone on strike, she said. Not a strike, I replied. I've retired. She chuckled. Bill says you've gotten stubborn in your old age. Maybe I've just stopped being used. She looked at me for a long moment. You always did do too much. You always let them expect it. Another pause. Well, I suppose it's about time you stopped. I didn't expect that. Not from her. She patted my hand. They'll learn. Maybe. I didn't say anything. But it was the first time I felt seen. Not needed. Not depended on. Just seen. That night, I got a text from Shannon. It was nice seeing you today. Would have been nicer if you brought that potato salad though, winking face. I didn't respond. An hour later, Mark followed up. Can we talk sometime this week? Just us. That was the first time he'd said that in months. Maybe they were finally starting to understand. Or maybe they just realized they'd lost their free help. Either way, something had shifted, and this time it wasn't me bending. Mark showed up on Thursday evening. He texted first. Can I stop by for a bit? I told him. Come by after 6. He arrived at 6:04, wearing jeans and a blue polo shirt. He looked like a man walking into a business meeting he didn't want to be in. I let him in. We sat in the kitchen. I didn't offer him anything to drink. I wasn't in the mood to play host. He looked around. Place is clean. Looks like retirement's working out for you. I didn't smile. Let's not dance around. Say what you came to say. He nodded. All right. A pause. Look, Mom, I've been thinking about everything. You're right. We've leaned on you too much. But this full shutdown, it's got the whole family tense. That's not my problem, Mark. I know, but... No, listen to me now. I sat up straighter. You asked to talk. So, I'm going to say what I've been holding in for years. He nodded slowly. Okay. You all came to this house every month, sometimes every week, ate my food. used my house like a hotel, and left me with a mess like I was the maid. And I never complained. I know. Don't interrupt. I held up a hand. I kept doing it because I love you. Because I thought I was supposed to. Because I figured one day someone would look around and say, "Mom, let me help with that." But nobody ever did. He swallowed hard. You never asked. That's the excuse? That I didn't ask? That it never occurred to you I might want a break? Mark rubbed the back of his neck. I guess I figured you liked doing it. That's what you all figured. That I liked being the one with dish, soap up to her elbows while the rest of you watched football. You know what I liked? Being needed. Being valued. But it started to feel like I was just being used. He looked at me, finally quiet. I went through surgery last year. And not one of you brought a pot of soup. You dropped the kids off. You asked me for things. You never even asked if I needed groceries. He looked down at the table. You're right. I was selfish. Yes, I said, not harshly, just directly. You were. I'm sorry. I didn't answer right away. Not just for that, he added quickly. For acting like your job was to serve us. For not treating you like a person with limits. I nodded. Good. Now what? He blinked. What do you mean? I mean, what are you going to do about it? Saying sorry is step one. But what's step two? He looked around the kitchen, then back at me. Well, I guess we start pulling our own weight. No guessing. You either do or you don't. I'll talk to Shannon. We'll host next Sunday. You don't have to do anything. I won't be coming. He looked surprised. Wait, why? Because it's not just about dinner. It's about space. I need space from all of it. I'm not ready to sit in a room full of people who laughed when I said I was tired. Not yet. He nodded slowly. Fair. You want to fix this? Keep doing the work. Show me over time that you mean it. And don't just do it because you're hoping I'll go back to being the family maid. He gave a tired smile. You were never a maid. You could have fooled me. A pause. You know, I always thought you were the strongest person in the family, he said. I still am. I'm just not going to break my back to prove it anymore. After he left, I sat on the couch for a long time. I didn't cry. I didn't feel sad. I felt relieved. For the first time in years, I'd spoken up. Not to complain, not to ask for scraps of help, but to set a standard. It wasn't about the dishes anymore. It was about me finally stepping out of the corner I'd been shoved into. 2 months passed. No Sunday dinners. No group texts asking what to bring. No casseroles being passed. No leftover containers to label. The family had gone quiet, and in that silence, they were figuring things out. On their own. Mark and Shannon tried hosting once. Amanda texted me afterward. It was chaos. Shannon burned the chicken. Mark forgot to buy drinks. They argued the whole time, but they cleaned up after themselves. Progress. I smiled when I read it, but I didn't respond. In early July, I ran into Bill at the post office. He was dressed in his usual Saturday gear, cargo shorts and a wrinkled polo. He spotted me and smirked. You still protesting? I didn't blink. I'm not protesting. I'm preserving. He raised an eyebrow. Preserving what? My time. My peace. My knees. He let out a short laugh. You've really changed.
No, Bill.
I've just stopped pretending it's okay to be invisible. He shifted awkwardly. Well, for what it's worth, Diane, and I miss your cornbread. You can make it. I left the recipe in that family cookbook I gave everyone 4 Christmases ago. He chuckled. Yeah, we thought that was a sweet gift. Didn't know it was a warning. It wasn't, but maybe it should have been. By late summer, something new started happening. I started getting calls, not about hosting or helping or baking, but about spending time.
Real time.
Amanda invited me out for brunch, just the 2 of us. We sat at a diner, ate pancakes, and she didn't once mention Sunday dinners.
Mark called again.
Just to check in. I miss you, he said. I miss talking to you without expecting something from you.
Shannon?
Still passive-aggressive. Still sending me memes and recipe links, like she's nudging me to get back to normal.
But I don't reply.
I don't need to. I joined a book club at the library. Started walking every morning around the park. I even took a class on digital scrapbooking at the community center. Things I always thought I'd get to eventually once everyone else's needs were met. Turns out, eventually only comes when you make room for it. My Sundays now? Peaceful. I make myself something simple: grilled cheese, a cup of tea. I read. I nap. I light a candle that smells like clean laundry, and I don't worry if the bathroom trash has been emptied twice. And the dishes? I wash mine right after eating. They never pile up anymore. In September, Amanda came by with a small box. Inside was a hand-painted mug. On it, in neat black lettering, it read, "Grace's house, retired, not replaced." I laughed so hard I almost cried. She gave me a quick hug. "You changed things." It was hard at first, but we needed the shake-up. "I didn't do it for you," I said. "I did it for me." "I know. That's why it worked." Now, when people ask what happened to our family dinners, I say the truth. They got tired of eating off each other's expectations. And when someone, usually another woman, usually my age, says, "I wish I could do what you did," I always say the same thing. You can. You just have to believe your time matters too. Because that's the part nobody tells us, isn't it? That saying no doesn't make you mean. That stepping back doesn't make you selfish. It makes you free.